Okay, so right now what we're going to do is we are going to mix a song from my guy Courtney and Decap. It's called One of Those Things. And long story short, the mix is done. This is the beginning of the video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an A-B of the difference of the record we mixed and then the version that he gave me to reference that we had to beat. So let's listen to that right quick. So we're going to go to this. Hello in the corner. And what we're going to do is this is the original. This is the reference that I was sent.
Dashy, I be dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a part of she coaches. Stop on over to Disney, right? But she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place and really.
And now this is the mix.
To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a part of she coaches. Stop on over to Disney, right? But she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place and really been looking happy.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the mix. We're going to show you how we got from that space to that space, how we, got a mix that just feels better. Also, that mix isn't really being limited at all. The limiter is barely doing half a dB of limiting. So we got it to be even louder without less actual limiting on the end of it from the reference as well, which means in mastering, we can get this thing absurdly loud because we have just a better balance on everything. So let me show you how I did it. I'm literally going to do it step by step, literally the process. Let's go back in time and let's see what this guy approved of and stuff. So let's do it. Courtney, Decap, One of Those Things, mix to the tape. I'm about to do a mix. I've already prepped the session, routed my stems, all kinds of stuff. This is actually a song by yours truly, well, a good friend of ours, Courtney and Decap. The drums are by Decap. The song is by brother Courtney from the Audio Nerds podcast. You know the vibes. And yeah, long story short, we're just gonna do a mix. So just to give you a lay of the land right quick, what's happening is you have the session, kick, snare, vocals, all of that stuff. I have 8 stems coming out of my DAW, going into my Dangerous 2-Bus Plus summing mixer, then coming on over into my Neve Portico Master Bus processor, and coming back into my Apogee Symphony IO. So just give you an idea of what's happening just behind the scenes as that's going on and stuff like that. I don't have it going through any of my other Outboard gear. It's just going through my Dangerous 2-Bus Plus, summed out the stems, vocals, background vocals, music, bass, drums, just coming out and coming into my Neve Portico Master Bus processor and stuff like that. So all of that is happening in the background. So let's get to it. Let's open this up. This is the session. And what I already did was I already kind of labeled everything. Everything is color coded. I have a reference track that I'm trying to beat. So I have the version of the song that I'm also trying to beat in this session that I had Courtney and Decap send over. All my stuff is ready. I have all my sins, reverbs, everything ready to go. And I'm ready to mix. I even gain staged already. I brought everything down about 8 dB, so I have some headroom to work with. And I'm ready to go, man. I'm just ready to go, bro. I'll let you guys hear a little bit of the song right quick, just so you can get an idea of what it sounds like. But I'll let you hear what it sounds like, and then I'll let you hear what we're trying to beat. So listen to this right quick.
Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a part of she coaches. Stop on over to Disney, right? But she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week.
And now let's listen to what we're trying to beat.
Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a part of she coaches. Stop on over to Disney, right? But she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place and really been looking.
Now the crazy thing is just it going through my summing amp and just it just sounds a lot more open, punchy. And of course, there's no reverbs and stuff like that. He left it up to me. He said he wanted me to kind of like decide reverb wise and stuff what to do. But you can already feel like without like just going through our outboard gear and stuff like that, it already sounds punchy. No plugins on, no nothing. It already kind of sounds cleaner. And I'm gonna take that and really use that to my advantage already. Where I'm already like, ooh, I know I'm gonna be able to really make this sound enhanced from the original. Okay. So little things that I have going on. I have NLS channels on every single track, which is helping to give me a little bit more saturation on the entire thing. Let's kill all of these. I don't want nothing on. So I have this giving me a little bit of saturation on every single track, kind of like emulating an analog board. Nothing on my mix bus yet, but I will. And let's get to mixing, dogs. So one thing I want to do, I do want to tune my ears a little bit. Let me just listen to the reference that I've chosen for this song is Lucid Dreams by Juice WRLD. So I do want to hear Juice WRLD's version. 1 second. Hopefully this doesn't blast. 1 second.
Dashing.
Yep, knew it. 1 second. Let me just match that right quick. 1 second.
Dashing to the dash beat anytime.
And I cannot change you, so
Okay, cool. Just wanted to get my ears in tune. Let me see what I sound like.
Dashing to the dash beat anytime. She be needing a Gucci anytime.
Okay, so it's not off. It's not too far off as is. Anyway, so I'm cool. All right, I just wanted to tune my ears and just see like what a commercial record sounded like. Definitely way more compressed of a vocal. Let's see if I can do some things. So let's kill this. Let's get to it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attack the drums. I'm definitely just gonna attack the drums first and then go from there. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab all these. Let's mute everything. So I'm gonna mute everything. Mute it. Everything is muted. Let me see something. And then I'm gonna mute all this as well. And what I'm trying to do right now is I'm gonna try to get that kick, snare, and the drums sounding nice. So I'm gonna try and attack the kick, snare, and all my drums at once for the most part. And then we'll just go in steps. So let's get that kick sounding how I want it to sound. A little more punch. Okay, now one other thing that I do want to share with you is this the last thing I have to share with you before I get started, is that I put on this plugin called Convolver. Now, without getting you super confused, long story short, think about it like a really cheap alternative to SonarWorks where it flattens out the response of my monitors for this room specifically. So when I put my preset on, which is my room correction right here, now this is giving me a flatter, quote unquote, flatter response through my speakers for this room's problems specifically. Don't overthink it. Just know it's going to sound a little different when we listen back to it right now from what you were hearing, but it's allowing me to hear my room, quote unquote, more flat. I'll explain this another day. I'll do a tutorial on this another day. Shout out K Quick for showing me this. But it lets me use it. And I can turn it off and on whenever I want just to see where I'm at. But this really has been helping me translate my mixes a lot better. So yeah, this is me hearing it more flat, kind of boost, kind of just quieting all those peaks and valleys down and making everything sound a little bit more flat. So it's gonna sound a little different right now, but let's get it going. I don't like that sound. I'm taking that down. So basically, I'm getting rid of some resonant frequencies that I'm seeing and hearing. And basically, it's allowing me to accentuate more of the good stuff in the kick, as opposed to that excess stuff that I'm hearing that was a ooh, ooh. Like, I don't want that sound. I want more of that prominence, more of that presence of the kick. So I'm looking for those resonant frequencies that I can get rid of to help me accentuate that more. Shout out Tizio for showing me that one. But yeah, those two frequencies definitely, as I bypass back and forth, I can hear that difference and feel like the kick just feels a little bit better. And I'm not doing big moves like a dB here and there. So let me see if there's another one which I might hear. One sec. Nah, I'm cool for now. I'm really cool on that. All right. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up Subloom. This plugin I've been in love with for kicks and stuff like that now. Shout out Jesse Ray put me onto this plugin, and I am fascinated by this thing right now. But I'm gonna use this to kind of get some stuff out of the kick. One sec. Okay, feeling much better about that kick so far. So good. So I'm gonna be. Okay, I'm super cool with my kick. A lot more punch, a little bit more clicky. I got a lot more top end on it, so I feel like it's gonna cut through in the mix a lot better. All right, let's start bringing the snare and stuff like that in. So it looks like here, this is something too, but let's put this right underneath and let me open up the snare and the clap. And we should be good. So basically, I want to affect them together because I don't want to mess up the blend of what Decap has created. So basically, we're gonna affect the snare and the clap together in one aux, which is what I did. So basically, I just added a little bit more of a weightier sound to the clap, took out some of the resonant frequencies that I was hearing in the clap and the snare combo, rolled off a little bit of the top end because I feel like once we start getting louder, that distorted kind of clap at the top is gonna get a little jarring. So I'm already kind of mitigating for that and like let make you calm down just a little bit. And then I added a little bit of that body into that entire snare clap sound, which is adding a little 650 hertz into 650 hertz into that 1 dB, excuse me, sorry, 1.5 dB, I believe that's 1.5 dB or so into 650 hertz, just to give me a little bit more body and weight on that snare. And that's it. Moving on, not doing much. Like I said, I'm just getting some basics, just getting a vibe for it, and then I'm moving on. Let's go over here. So long story short, this is a really sick trick that I learned from Luca. Long story short, I used this Fab Filter EQ to EQ EQ the left side of the hi-hat different from the right side of the hi-hat, and it gives me this perception of whiff that I love. And I knew I wanted that hi-hat to feel a little bit more open sounding without having all of that high end that I feel like is going to be jarring to your ear after a while. So long story short, what I did was I used this Fab Filter EQ to kind of give me more separation on the left and right channels as far as EQing the left a little different from the right. And now it gives me this perception in 3D kind of sound with the hi-hat, which is one of my favorite tricks as of right now that I've been doing a lot lately, just to give me a little bit of whiff. So that's an interesting sound. It's like this thing underneath the kick. It's like this perk underneath the kick. That's an interesting sound. 1 second. I'm sitting here like, what do I do with you? For now, I'm going to leave it. All right, moving on. So I'm going to get this out of the drum bus. I'm going to put this down here with my sound effects. I don't really want that I don't want that at all in my drum bus. So 1 second, let me move this out of my drum bus. I just realized I had it in there. So right here is good with the effects. So let's take this and say sound effects bus, being organized, ladies and gentlemen, life-saving stuff here. Okay. Okay, I'm not mad at my drums at all. So now what it's time to do is it's time for me to really get my gain staging in order. So now that I know, okay, here's my drum sound, which I know is probably going to be the loudest thing in my mix. What I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my my mix bus to really make sure that I'm in control. I'm going to mix through a limiter and the whole nine now that I got my drums kind of set in a place. Obviously, it's not the final, but now that I got them there, I'm going to start working on them. Before I do that, I'm going to work on my drum bus, and then I'm going to work on my mix bus. So right now, we're going to do some drum bus processing. So I'm going to try to get some more out of these drums and see what I can get them to sound like. So 1 sec. All right, now what I want you to do is see this like little bit of craziness that we did. Basically, I soft clipped the drums, which is allowing me to get the drums a bit louder without a bit louder without eating so much headroom. And then I used this punch right here just to give me some of that transient inside the drums, just to give me a little bit more excitement on the drum sound. And then I saturated the drums just a little bit. So real slight, not much stuff, but soft clipping definitely did help me to kind of get more volume out of my drums and get a louder drum sound without eating up so much headroom. So before it was hitting at 13.3, and now it's hitting at, and listen to it, 11.1. So that was a 2 dB difference, but it doesn't feel like a 2. It feels like more than that. Like when you really listen to that sound, it feels more exciting and fun. And that was just a 2 dB difference with the drum. So I have a louder drum sound now as well, which I love. I can already feel like I want to add a little bit more roundness to the kick, but for the most part, for right now, I'm cool. I'm not trying to do too much. I just got the drum sounding kind of how I want them to sound for right now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on over to my mix bus. And what we're going to do is we are going to do some gain staging. So there's 3 plugins that I like to have on. I'm going to put on Gold Clip, and I'm also going to put on my L2 limiter. So I'm going to mix through Gold Clip and I'm going to mix through the L2 limiter, and this is going to help me stay in check at all times. You'll see in a second. Let me just do it, and then I'll explain what, why and what I did. So give me a sec. Okay, so right now I'm just kind of soft clipping that all those like those peaks and those transient stuff like that, and it's giving me a more fuller sound. If you listen to the before and after with the Gold Clip before and after, I love Gold Clip. I am in love with this on the mix bus. If I bypass the Gold Clip back and forth, you can hear a difference in the sound where the drums feel a lot fuller with this here. So I'm kind of saving myself some headroom by kind of saying, okay, soft clip those peaks so that I can have more headroom to actually bring some stuff up. So yeah, you're gonna see me doing that. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my limiter now. And with my limiter, I'm going to try to kiss this limiter. Probably not even a half a dB, but I just want to get like a dB of reduction, and then I'll explain why. Okay, cool. So why did I do that? Why did I just gain stage everything and kind of know and kind of put the Gold Clip on with the L2, and now I'm going to mix with all of that stuff on? Long story short, this is what's happening. With the L2 or with the limiter on my mix bus right now, I'm going to see exactly how my mix reacts to a limiter. Because at the end of the day, I know my mix is going to wind up with a limiter on it. And sometimes when you throw a limiter on after you do your whole mix, sometimes you listen to your mix and say, oh, well, things feel a little bit out of balance. For me personally, I like to just mix into the limiter just so I can see how a limiter is going to react to my sound source. Now, the beautiful thing is I'm not limiting a bunch. I'm not trying to get 3 dB and try of limiting and make it super loud. I just want to see what characteristics it pulls. Sometimes it takes the snare and pulls it forward. Sometimes the vocal may feel a little bit more forward. So I just want to hear what a limiter is going to do to my mix as I'm mixing, so that I'm just literally mixing through that. And I'm literally, like I said, I'm kissing it. I also have the gold clip there just to kind of make things a little bit tighter and kind of shave off those peaks as well to keep me in check and in line, and make sure. So periodically you'll see me go to this limiter, and if I see 3 dB on the limiter as far as gain reduction, I'm like, whoa, something went out of control and I need to go back. But for right now, I know, oh, as long as I'm getting like half a dB to a dB of reduction, I know that I am staying so clean within my realm as far as my gain staging and stuff like that. So that's why I like to mix to a limiter, and I like to use this cheap limiter, because the cheaper the limiter, if it sounds good on this cheap limiter, it's gonna sound amazing on a great limiter in the back of my mind. So I'm using this, kind of subpar limiter for what it is today compared to what's out there right now. So that's what's going on. So let's keep this going. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to bass. And the reason why I'm going to go to my bass right quick is because I'm going to listen to my bass, and I've switched things up if you've seen previous tutorials of how I've been doing things, but I've been liking to do bass next. What I'm going to do with the low end is I'm going to try to get that low end right up underneath that kick and sounding nice, and try to make sure that the kick and bass have a nice relationship with each other. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So let's turn on, I'm not ready to turn my sub on yet, but let me just get a balance of where it belongs. One sec. So here's my basses right here. Okay, I feel cool. That's right. I put it right underneath that kick, and I'm chilling right now, but let me just keep it going. Let me just keep listening and keep just kind of understanding what's happening right now. Okay, cool. Okay, so what that compressor just helped me do was it helped me really tighten the bass up. What you're seeing is it's catching that initial transient in the bass and kind of allowing me to turn it up some more so I can get it to sound a little bit more thicker and fuller. Because really the transient is coming from the kick for me, right? Nonetheless, there is a, that transient feeling of I want that punch of that bass, but at the same time, I just gotta make some space for it. But I like that tighter bass sound for the 808, and then the kick is really helping to get space because I'm doing that and compressing that bass at that. So I'm getting a little bit more headroom because I'm allowing one to kind of feel a little bit more present than the other, if that makes sense. I'm trying to get them out of the way of each other a little bit. Right now, I'm going to use this to add a little bit of harmonics to the sound. I love this so much. You're going to see in a second. Whoa, you see what I mean? Let's turn that down off rip. One sec. So I'm literally just checking my headroom. Check this out, which is crazy. So look at what the bass was before. So without, right? It was hitting at, take a look at this. Peaks at 22.4. And now with all of this extra harmonics at it, it's hitting at. It's hitting at 22. So just a 0.4 difference, but man, did I get some more like weight and body out of everything, out of that bottom end and stuff like that, and I'm making sure it's in control. What I might do is, at some point, I might consider switching the compressor and put that in front, but for now, leave it alone. So let's make this relationship even stronger between the two. Jason Josh, I'm not gonna lie, Jason Joshua got me looking at the Soothe as my side chainer, which I have a preset. Where is it? Kick side chain. So I'm gonna try this again. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to side chain 60 hertz on the 808 to kind of get it out the way of the kick, so the kick takes the precedent at 60 hertz when they clash together. So basically, when the kick and 808 hit at the same time, I'm saying, hey, 808, I want you to dip down 60 hertz, get out the way of 60 hertz. Not the rest of you, just that 60 hertz range, which allows me to have, the perception that 808 didn't dip, but that space and that frequency range is being occupied by the kick. And the kick is like, I'm good. I ain't got nobody here to compete with. So that's basically what I'm using it for. Jason put me on to using Soothe as the side chain instead of what I usually use is MB. So I'm going to see. I'm going to go back and forth between them. I've actually been fighting with this. Like, dang, is it MB for me or is it Soothe too? But we're going to see. We're going to see. Give me a sec. So let me set it up. So then my kick is over here. Just monitoring my peak, seeing what's going on and stuff like that. I still feel okay. I still don't feel like I've destroyed anything. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at, where was I? Oh, Soothe. So now that I put that there, let me take a look. I'm gonna try my MB 1 second. Where is kick sidechain? Where is it? Kick sidechain. Boom. And we're on 6. I have so much presets like just on deck, like ready to go. Let me see. And once again, I like the sound of the MB with my sidechain. I don't know why. I don't know. I just like the sound of my MB. Sorry. 1 second. See if I can get it faster with a harder knee. Let me see something. I just like the sound of that MB. I'm sorry. I don't shoot the messenger. I just like the sound of the MB. So I'm using the MB instead of SUV. That SUV, I just never get it to feel right with the sidechain. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it smears my transient a little bit with that. Okay, cool. So that's there. I feel like I got a nice grip on my bass so far. Let me listen to my other monitors 1 sec. Gotta turn my monitors on. Sorry about that. Crap. Where's the button? Oh, I don't. Where is it? Yo. I tell you, shout out to monitors with the button in the front, bro. What the fuck is the button? Oh. Okay. God dang. Okay. 1 sec. So, all right, I'm good. All right. Let me see what if I got sound? Cool. I feel like there's a little something off left and right wise. 1 second. Something's off left and right wise. 1 sec. All right, I'm gonna monitor that for a little bit. I'm gonna monitor that, but I feel like there's a little bit of an imbalance with the left and right channel with that 808. I'm gonna come back to that. For now, I'm cool. I'm chilling. Let's keep it going. Let me go to the next bass set. So I can hear, I definitely want more top end saturation. I want more top end on this for sure. I haven't opened this plugin in a minute. Fat Filter Saturn. I ain't gonna lie. Like mad plugins came for Fat Filter Saturn 2's head, bro. As of lately. All right. What's up with this help? What's up with the help going crazy? Here we go. All right, feeling okay so far. What I'm gonna do right now is, this is the last part of my gain stage, and now that I kind of got my bass and stuff like that, and 808 kind of like sitting in a pocket that I'm cool with for right now, before I check my reference, my gear has a certain volume that it likes, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna push my output stems. So right here, these are my stems: drum outs, bass, music, all my drum, all this stuff. I'm gonna push my stems into my 2 bus plus summing mixer, which is also gonna push into my Need Portico Master Bus processor. So I'm gonna push a bunch of volume into the optimal range. I know when it's perfect for me, as far as what I like from it, at this right here. When I start seeing my compressor start to engage just a little bit, that's when I know, okay, cool, that's like the optimal nice range as far as getting that saturation out of all my analog gear. And then I'll stop right there, and that'll be my total gain stage, gain staging process as it stands. Cool. So all right, so right now what I'm gonna do is I'm highlighting all this. I'm gonna say yes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off gold clip and L2 right quick, and I'm gonna push all this processing into my outboard gear until I start seeing these things light up. So actually I'll switch over to here. As soon as I see compression, that's when I know I'm Gucci. So I need to be here. So I'll just do it here, and then I'll show you, because I need to see my screen. One sec. And what that's kind of telling me is that I can actually probably saturate this a little bit more. 1 second. I'm just trying to find my proper gain stage. I know you can't see my meters on my Need Portico, but I'm just trying to find the appropriate level. 1 second. Okay, cool. I'm not too far off. So basically, if you look on my outboard, like to hit around that 16 number, just because I feel like I get a better sound of it. I've actually talked to some people at Neve about that, and saying that it's really important to hit this particular unit at a certain volume to really get the best out of it. So over time I've just kind of been making sure I push into it. I know once we get more signal and stuff like that, we'll push up to it even more, and I know I'll start to see a little bit of compression happening. So at the end of the day, as long as I'm hitting around that 16, 18, I'm like, all right, cool. I know that I'm running like an optimal kind of volume that I like, hitting this analog gear coming back into our system. So now let's put on back on gold clip in L2 just to make sure and see if our gain staging is cool. So 1 second. And I know I probably have to adjust it just a wee bit, but we'll find out in a second. Okay, cool. So like I said, I'm hitting around 0.2, and you can see I didn't need to come down on that limiter so hard because I kind of pushed into my outboard coming back into the DAW. So now I'm cool. Now, what I'm going to do right quick is, and this is what I don't want you to be freaked out at, you're going to hear a loud volume difference right now because I'm going to take my convolver off. Remember this little plugin that's kind of flattening my speaker frequency response? It's also turning things down and making it significantly quieter. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, watch your ears. I'm going to turn it down and I'm going to listen to my drums without this flat response curve on. Cool, and now I'm gonna listen to my actual reference track just to see where I'm at. I could be way off. Let's see.
Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a project, she coaches. Stop on ever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Wanna dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a project, she coaches. Stop on ever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place and really been looking happy.
We definitely got a lot more punch on our drums. I mean, you could hear that difference between it. It feels like the kick is kind of struggling in his, but we got a lot of clarity out of our drums and stuff like that. So I'm cool. My drum sound, I feel like, is beating the original drum sound over there. Let me listen to it with the sub. 1 second.
Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a project, she coachy. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy.
Definitely a much tighter bass sound in the whole nine. I'm with it. I love it. So far, so good. All right, let's get it. So let's start attacking some vocals. 1 second. Where is it at? Let's start getting some vocals popping. So I'm gonna turn my convolver back on, and you see how that convolver, how it translates? Like, listen to it now. I'm gonna watch this with the convolver on, aka my room correction thing. See how it sounds completely different, but it's allowing me to hear my mix, you know, in a quote unquote flatter response for this room. This is specific to my room. So maybe in your room, you're like, this sounds really weird. But for my room, this is helping me hear it in a flatter response, kind of correcting some of those nodes and dips that I have in my room because it's not perfect. But I like how it's translating already, for real, for real. All right, let's get it. So let's go to a vocal.
Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a project, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place and really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy.
First thing I hear is the vocal's very bright. It's very compressed sounding. So now I'm trying to think to myself, how can I bring some dynamics back into this vocal? 1, and then 2, let's attack that high end first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crack open my RDSer. Let's try and get rid of some of those S's and T's, that sibilance that I'm hearing.
Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a project, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place and really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again.
So I'm looking for this fried kind of sound, like it kind of has this like the sizzling sound. Shout out Curtis Curtis kind of put me onto that term. But yeah, like you know how you feel like something feels real sizzly and fried. A lot of times it could be like in that 9 kilohertz range. And literally I saw on Fat Filter, I was like, I know it's like in that 9 kilohertz, and I just accentuated it. Let's be sure. 1 second.
Dashing.
Yeah, that hurts. So I'm gonna take that out.
Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again.
Now I'm looking for this wolfiness that I'm hearing, kind of like this, I hear it. I'm gonna find it.
Dashing. She coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking about it, but it don't look like you laughing. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be.
That is so much better. Just those two frequencies, like move out the way. It just feels like the vocal just feels a lot more clear. Now, what I feel like I'm struggling with, I might want a little bit more body out of it. Let me take a listen though. Let me be very careful with what I'm doing.
Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy.
Listen to that before and after already. Before.
Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches.
After.
Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches.
Just a lot cleaner, just a lot more calmer, just not so shrill and hurting my ear so much. All right. I kind of want to think about this a little bit. 1 second. This is what I'm gonna do. So you're gonna see me try things.
Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again.
I just added a little 300 from a harmonic saturation standpoint, just to give the vocal a little bit of body. And I did it with Spectre. Spectre doesn't really add EQ from a gain standpoint, but more from a saturation standpoint. So harmonics, I'm adding harmonics, not just boosting a frequency in a specific range, but adding harmonics to a specific frequency range. Wonderful sound. Okay, now I'm gonna start playing around with some of the vocal elements as far as the texture and things of that nature. You're going to see me do a bunch of like 3D effects. I have this thing, which you're going to see in a second. What I want to do off rip is I want to kind of make sure that I'm matching his reverb. I want to make sure I'm not too far from his original reverb. So I'm going to try to match his reverb. 1 second. Or basically get around to his reverb sound that he originally had. So I'm going to try a bunch of different things. 1 second for 2. Just going to crack open a few of my reverbs right quick. For 3. We gonna do this again and over again. Ooh, don't you know that when you try to know, when you know. Okay, 1 sec. Let me listen to his original right quick.
Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop when
Pretty big reverb.
dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's a one dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again.
Better. What I was trying to accomplish was I was trying to get that tail to not be so long, because I felt like it was just going to eat up a lot of my fidelity. So I'm just adding texture and really making the vocal feel a little bit more 3D feeling. Let's keep it going.
Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over. dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a part she Gucci. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over.
All right, let me get the tempo of the song right quick. I just realized I didn't put the tempo in. All right, tempo's in, and now I'm going back.
Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. So it's one of those things. Test you is you good, your response. One of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. I guess it's one of those. Guess that's why you roll with them vehicles. When that thing about you so real, from your head to the paint, you apply to your tips and your goddamn toes. I just think it's funny how this all shit goes. That you can't make friends, but got all these foes.
All right, now what you're about to see me do is something kind of cool. This is something I learned from Jessie Ray. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my vocals and I'm going to add all of these types of doublers and 3D kind of time shifting effects to it in parallel to make the vocal, one, have a little bit more texture, and two, just feel way bigger. And this kind of helps alleviate some of that harsh sound that I be getting in vocals sometime. You'll see. Shout out Jesse, I'm not gonna lie, he taught me this. I was doing this, but not in the way that he was doing it. Let me move myself out the way. One sec. Okay, cool. Give me a sec. So you're gonna see me lift these up. So basically this one send is feeding all three of these sims, and they all three have three different sounds. And I'm gonna try to find the texture that feels right. And you're gonna feel the vocal feel like 3D, and kind of just this phasey texture. It's beautiful. It does some really cool things. You'll see in a second.
Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Overflow, I'm just trying to. Bessie, with a whole damn crew, the gangy, they don't know your style. Me be a part she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Me be a part she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. Me be a part she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Me be a part she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things.
It's trippy. I know that's like really trippy how the vocal sounds now, as far as like just feeling like this like huge wall. And I might dial it back a little bit. I'll reference and stuff like that. But for right now, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, oh, it feels nice and open, and the vocal feels huge and out the way of everything. 1 second, let me listen to my reference.
Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit she gon' be. Be a part she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Be a part she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit she gon' be. Be a part she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those, one of those, one of those. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again.
So I might experiment with a little bit of the high end, because I know listening to the original vocal, obviously it was too much high end, but I still want to make sure that I'm giving Courtney some of that high end that I know he really, really wants. So what I'm going to do is shout out my guy for putting me on to this one. I'm going to add a little bit of this. 1 second.
Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean.
Okay, let me check my gain staging right quick. Let me put myself back down. Y'all see that 3D effect with the vocal is wild, right? Let me check my gain staging.
Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those.
No changes as far as the how hard it's hitting the limiter and stuff like that. I'm very happy about that. I might back off on my gold clip just a little bit, maybe. It sounds fine to me, but I don't know yet. Like I said, just as long as I know it's nothing's overloading it and going crazy, I know I'm still in a pretty good shape. Let's bring in the music now.
Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't.
Let me get myself familiar with everything. Okay, so that's our main sound. So let me listen to the original right quick.
Me be a part of she coaches. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' We be a part of she coaches. Stop on office at Disney, right? But she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. We be a part of she coaches. Stop on office at Disney, right? But she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. We be a part of she coaches. Right? But she gon'
So what I can hear already is I want to bring out those nuances in the guitar. So what I'm going to do is I want to add a little bit of compression to it just to kind of bring out those quiet parts a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my good old trusty Rosetta compressor. And we're going to do it over again. Ooh, oh. Let me see.
grow. Spitting at the seams like they say it ain't so. Keep telling niggas yes, that you never gon' know. They gon' be right up till the next thing you know. You just falling right down to the ground like stone. I need to get saved, but hear my ass go putting on some soap.
I love my Rosetta compressor. I added a little bit of harmonic saturation and also just brought up those nuances just a wee bit. Let's keep it going. I'm gonna bring in my SPL vitalizer, and I already want to enhance the stereo feeling of this entire guitar. Before I do that though, I think I want to add the 8th note just to kind of enhance its sound. 1 second.
The ocean, I wanna stay close, but you don't. Guess it's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah, said it's one of those things. Test you is good, your response. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. I guess it's one of those.
All right, I'm gonna make the guitar just a little bit bigger, and I'm gonna use my SPL tube vitalizer. Stereo expander knob. 1 sec. It just adds some nice pleasing whiff to the entire sound. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get, I just want a little bit of saturation. I want a little bit of grit out of something. And I think Fab Filter is the one to go. Say what, I'm using Fab Filter Saturn again. I just want a little bit of grit out of my mid-range. Oh, wow. Look at the old one. Holy crap. No. No. Let me listen to this guitar before and after. I know this is going to be funny.
laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things.
So there's the little moment in that guitar where it gets a little too crazy, and I'm going to kill that, and I'm going to use good old gold clip to kind of catch those peaks that I'm hearing in the guitar. One second. See that peak, like that peak right there? I want to stop that, cut it out, relax. One second. I got a little bit more control on it, just as far as those peaks. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this R comp just to really catch and compress those moments where it gets a little too jarring. Pretty fast attack. I'm going to use it in this mode. I'm going to try and catch that moment. You know what moment I'm talking about too.
I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is good, your response. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. I guess it's one of those. Guess that's why you roll with them Vagos. When everything about you so real, from your head to the paint, you apply to your tips and your goddamn toes. I just think it's funny how this all shit goes. That you can't make friends, but got all these foes. Keep them weeds and you ain't gon' grow. No, you ain't gon' grow. So we both outgrow. Spitting at the seams like to say it ain't so. Keep telling niggas yes, that you never gon' know. They gon' be right up till the next thing you know. You just falling right down to the ground like snow. I need to get saved, but hear my ass go. Putting on some suit and a cape, that's crazy. Won't be the wife for the kids like Jay. Going up ways like damn, I'm straight and whip on around like a...
Okay, haha, I got my Waves Factory back, haha. I just couldn't let y'all see my password and stuff. My fault, OGs. I can't be giving y'all all the sauce. All right, back to it. Let's get it. So basically, I'm gonna use Track Spacer just to get out of the way of the vocal and the guitar from time to time.
Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those. Maybe a part of she coaches. Stop on ever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just maybe a part of she coaches. Stop on ever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Maybe a part of she coaches. Stop on ever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive. Maybe a part of she coaches. Stop on ever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Maybe a part of she
I can already hear that I can actually bring in some more. I can actually turn up my bass just a little bit more, but I'm gonna just chill out for a second. But nonetheless, I'm loving where we're getting. Let's keep it going. It's a really nasty, grungy sound. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll off some of that top end on it because it's really nasty. It's a really nasty sound. It's just like a accent, if that makes any sense. I'm gonna roll off some of that top end on it. 1 second.
She gon' be, she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be, she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be, she won't be. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be, she won't be. Won it last week.
So I want to make this feel more back. That's my brain is telling me to make that sound feel a little further back, and the way I create that is with reverb. If I put a long verb on this to push it further back, let me see if my verb 4 will work. My verb 4, if I'm not mistaken, is it's Valhalla, isn't it? Is my verb 4 Valhalla? It's my auto-tune vocal. Oh, I've been looking to use this. Okay, cool. So let's take a listen. Let's actually try it.
Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be, she won't be. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be, she won't be. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be, she won't be. Won it last week. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be, she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be, she won't be.
It just has a little bit too much presence on it. I'm trying to make it feel further back, so I'm gonna pull back on this 800 hertz a little bit just to make it feel a little bit further back. Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pull up my handy dandy Rosetta. It's just to tuck it frequency range wise, because this is the same thing. It's like the 800 hertz range. So tuck.
Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be, she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be, she won't.
I know what I want. Just tucked it a little bit, but now I just want to lo-fi it. I just want to back it off. I just want it to back up and get out the damn way. And I know this lo-fi plugin is going to make it feel plush. 1 second.
Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be, she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. We just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those, one of those.
Sorry about that. My camera went out, but I fixed it just now. Sorry about that, y'all. I just had to switch cameras.
Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be, she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. We just go through this like over and over.
So now that guitar accent just feels like a warm undertone. Like when it comes in, it doesn't feel like this jarring kind of thing. I just wanted to tuck it a little, like, yo, relax, take it easy, bro. We all here for together. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be, she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking. Me be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon'.
I can already feel where I want this. I want this right in that like 300. This is what's gonna this is what's gonna make everything feel warm and fuzzy. 1 second. I'd like to apologize to Fat Filter Saturn too. I disrespected you for a little while, and I won't do that ever again. I like the way Fat Filter Saturn talking. I'm like, yo, this is slapping right now for this song. So right here is basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to boost the side information at about 300 hertz to really make this feel warm, because this piano feels so warm, and I think that a little bit of this could sweeten up the sides. So I want to put a little bit of this in the sides at that 300 hertz range. So give me a second.
They don't look like you laughing. We just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is good. Your spine. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. I'ma be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy. I'ma be a part of she coaches. Stop on obviously the Disney rabbit. She gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. We just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of the. Think about you so real, from your head to the paint, you apply to your tips and your goddamn toes. I just think it's funny how this all over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things.
Feeling absolutely amazing. Let's continue to open up some more of our stems. I got the piano to come out a little bit, but I didn't want to. In the original rough, the reference, it doesn't feel like it's it doesn't feel like it's heard as more of a felt thing, but I just brought out more of the feeling by just adding some saturation, taking the 300 on the sides, opening it up a little bit, and it just feels nice and warm. It feels like it's very complimentary in that regard. All right, let's go to the backgrounds now, looks like. Oh, no, we have a Vox sample. Oh, 1 second.
To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a Anytime we be apart, she cold cheese. Stop on every city Disney, wherever she gon' be. But she won't be. Won it last week.
So let's bring that pulse out a little bit more. 1 second. Let me see how I can bring that pulse out a little more. 1 second.
Be apart, she cold cheese. Stop on every city Disney, wherever she gon' be. But she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place, ain't really been looking happy.
Okay, for now. I'm gonna leave this off for now. I'm gonna come back to it because I don't want to ruin the feeling, and I'm trying to accent it, but let me clean it up a bit. Let me just clean the sound up so I can at least get it felt and heard more in the mix. 1 second. I feel like I'm hearing some muddiness in like the low mid, somewhere in that 300 hertz range. 100 hertz, 200, somewhere in there. Let me see something. Yeah, that definitely helps with just some of the clarity and stuff like that. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna add some harmonics to it just to kind of make it a little bit more felt. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out some of the mids on it and boost the side information on it instead. I'm gonna try to open it up a little bit and move it out the way. Actually, you know what EQ I'm gonna use? I'm gonna use my Alicia EQ. 1 second. 1 second. Shout out, look, listen, man, I learned a lot from everybody. But shout out Austin Hall from Make Pop Music. He put me onto this EQ. This EQ is fire.
Like over and over again. To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she cold cheese. Stop on every city Disney, wherever she gon' be. But she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place, ain't really been looking happy. to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop on every city Disney, right? She gon' be to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop on every city Disney, right? She gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you left. To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop on every city Disney, right? She gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she coaches. Stop on every city Disney, right? She gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through it. Looking happy, laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. Yeah, yeah. So it's one of those things. Test you, is you good? Your response, one of those things. I know. One of those. I guess it's one of those.
All right, I'm gonna play with track spacing with this. I'm trying to get it out the way because I love the lushness of it, but at the same time, I want to get it out the way. I'm gonna try a few things. Give me a second. I'm just trying to get this to sound complement that lead vocal.
One of those things. Yeah, yeah. So it's one of those things. Test you, is you good? Your response, one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. I guess it's one of those. Guess it's one of those things. Yeah, yeah. So it's one of those things. Test you, is you good? Your response, one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. I guess it's one of those. One of those things. Yeah, yeah. So it's one of those things. Test you, is you good? Your response, one of
I'm happy about that. Really got that out the way a bit and just kind of kept the essence of what it was, because it is heard within the original mix. I kept going back and forth, but at the same time, I felt like it belonged up here. Like it belonged up here floating. So that's why I put a bigger reverb on it to kind of get it to sit further back and up here. And that felt better to me. That's one of those things I'm probably gonna have to go back to and tweak, but for the most part, I do like the way it feels. And I had to back off of some of the mid-range too, just to help it not be so poke out so much, which I could have used more compression, but I rather do it with EQ. Okay. Let's move on. Let's go on to the backgrounds. We're almost there, y'all.
Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight over again.
Big reverb on it.
Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. So one of those.
Trying to decide what reverb I want to use for. I think I want to mess with a shaper box, but then again, no. Let's mess with verb 1.
I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Your moat's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean.
Okay, that's the reverb. I like that reverb. I might want to. 1 second. 1 second.
Your moat's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Your moat's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Your moat's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Your moat's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Your moat's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Your moat's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Your moat's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in. Your moat's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive over again.
There's this like woofy, boxy. I'm looking for it. I'm gonna find it. 1 second.
Your moat's about to burst, baby, it's overflow.
That's it. It's like this tone. I don't like this tone.
Your moat's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Your moat's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Your moat's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Your mold's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Your mold's about to burst, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean.
There's a certain feeling I'm trying to bring out, and I'm gonna find it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna find you.
Over again. Overflow. Over again. Overflow. Over again. Over again. Over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight. Over again. Over again. Overflow. Over again. Overflow. Over again. Overflow. Over again.
Okay, cool. That I just trying to match the reference to trying to get it, because he told me he didn't print he didn't give me his reverbs and stuff like that, so it is a little bit of a challenge, but I did match it for the most part volume wise. I think I know what I'm missing. I think I want to add some harmonics to this, some type of saturation. Let me see something right quick.
Over again. Overflow.
That's what I need.
Over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those, one of those. Over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those, one of those, one of those. And I guess it's one of those.
I know I took out some stuff in that frequency range, but adding new harmonics to it felt better. Weird, I know that was a strange thing, but I just feel that presence that I was looking for from that, with taking out some of that nasty tone that I heard before, just suits it. I'm gonna do a little bit of shaping though. I think I know what I want.
Over again. Overflow. I'm just trying. Over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those, one of those, one of those. And over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight. Over again. Over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight. Over again. Over again. Over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight. Over again. Overflow. Over again. Over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close. Over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the over again. Overflow. Over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those. Over again. Overflow. Over again. Over again. Overflow. Over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those, one of those.
gonna apply that same processing to these. 1 second.
Tryna dive straight in the ocean.
Yeah.
Tryna dive straight in the ocean. Tryna dive straight in the ocean. Tryna dive straight in the ocean. Tryna dive straight in the ocean.
Very compressed. It's pretty over compressed.
Tryna dive straight in the ocean. 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 I wanna stay close. Tryna dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those. Tryna dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those. One of those. One of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Hold on, don't you let go. I need to get saved. Hold on, don't you let go. I need to get. Hold on, don't you let. Hold on, don't you let go. Hold on, don't you let go. I need to get saved, but hear my ass go. Putting on some suit and a cape, that's crazy. Won't be. Hold on, don't you let go. I need to get saved.
That's a pretty heavy part. 1 second.
Whip on a run like a young saying. Now the city looking for me like Jay. Hold on, don't you let go. 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 Hold on, hold on, hold on, don't you. Hold on, don't you. Hold on, don't you let go. Hold on, don't you let go. I need to get. Hold on, don't you let go. 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 Hold on, don't you. Hold on, don't. Hold on, don't you let go. I need to get saved, but hear my ass go. Putting on some suit and a cape, that's crazy. Won't be the wife for kids like Jay. Don't throwing up wings like damn, I'm straight in a whip on a run like a young saying. Now the city looking for me like Jay. You too bright, Taliante. I guess it's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, we know. I guess it's one of those things. It's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, we know, they know. It's one of those. But baby, I guess it's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know. I guess it's one of those. one of those things. Oh, I said it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know. I guess it's one of those things. Oh, I said it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, you know. I guess it's one of those things. Oh, I said it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those.
Feeling better to me compared to the ref. Obviously the ref is a little louder, so that lets me know, like, think about it, his reference has like a limiter that's actually limiting and stuff like that. And I know Courtney has mad stuff on the end of his mix chain with this reference, so I'm trying to get it as clean as possible without even needing that. But I just like how everything is sitting compared to the ref so far. Let me see. I'm getting close. I'll be honest with y'all. Like, now that I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh wow, actually I'm getting pretty close to everything. I can add a little bit more low end to it after just kind of listening back and forth. Trying to see what I haven't touched. I've touched everything, you know, that I wanted to touch in my mix. I'm feeling pretty good so far. Let me make sure that none of this stuff is on or doing anything. One sec. Okay, because I've made that very bad mistake before. Okay, cool. I'm feeling okay so far. Let me listen from the top right quick.
With a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Kyle, messy.
Let me listen to how that original one was. Okay, so big reverb. 1 second. I want it to be a little bit more dramatic. Let me see something. Let me see if I slap a Valhalla right on top of it, and just to change. I like to have different reverbs going, just to kind of pull me away from different, like, just help create different textures. 1 second. Very close to the original. Keep going.
With a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Kyle, messy. I lay up here, messy. We be getting real messy. You can me feel nasty. She be making noise and she dashy. Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Kyle, messy. I lay up here, messy. We be getting real messy. You can me feel Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Kyle, messy. I lay up here, messy. we be getting real messy. You give me a feel nasty. Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Cobb, messy. I lay up here, massive. We be getting real messy. Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Cobb. Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Cobb, messy. I lay up here, massive. We be getting real messy. You give me a feel nasty. She be making noise and she dashy. I be dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be apart, she Courtney. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place and really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is good, your response. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. I guess it's one of those things. Guess that's why you roll.
So what I did was that 5 kilohertz range was feeling a little too crispy, and it was making it also sound a little tight. So what I did was I brought down some of that 5 kilohertz, 4 kilohertz range. I was like, come down, and it felt a lot easier on my ear. And then I realized, oh, I can even bring the vocal up louder now. And instead of bringing the vocal up louder from the actual EQ that was going into a compressor, I said, no, I like the sound. Let me just bring it up from post fader, pretty much post all the plugins. And that's why I did it that way. So if you just notice that move, you can replay it and see that move I just made. And I was like, oh, no. I didn't like boosting the volume on the EQ because then it was changing the processes that was coming after. It was altering that sound a little bit.
Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Cobb, messy. I lay up here, massive. We be getting real messy. You give me a feel nasty. She be making noise and she dashy. I be dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be apart, she Courtney. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place and really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Cobb, messy. I lay Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style.
So he has a quarter note delay on it. I'm noticing it. I'm really liking our version. I'm really liking our.
Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Cobb, messy. I lay up here, massive. We be getting real messy. You give me a feel nasty. She be making noise and she dashy. I be dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be apart, she Courtney. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place and really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Cobb, messy. I lay up here, massive. We be getting real messy. Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Cobb, messy. I lay up here, massive. We be getting real messy. You give me a feel nasty. She be making noise and she dashy. I be dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be apart, she Courtney. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place and really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Cobb, messy. I lay up here, massive. We be getting real messy. You give me a feel. Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style, fancy. In a house like Cobb, messy. I lay up here, massive. We be getting real messy. You give me a feel nasty. She be making noise, and she dashy. I be dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a punch, she Gucci. Stop on ever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style. Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know it's style. Fancy, in a house like Kyle, messy. All of your pill, messy. We be in a real messy. You can me feel nasty. She be making noise and she dashy. I be dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a punch, she Gucci. Stop on ever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really be. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those. All
right, I'm gonna look at a few sounds that I'm like, ooh. I kind of wanna do like a slap delay on this, like something to make it don't like to kind of make it bounce. Hold on, one sec. Come on. Like that, just gonna play with it a little bit, like a little bit of a slap delay on it.
I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is good, your response. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. I guess it's one of those things.
You don't hear it much, it's a feeling, but I did bring it out just a little bit just to make it feel a little more dramatic. One sec. It's so subtle, it's like nothing, but I just wanted to bring it out a little bit.
We just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is good, your response. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. I guess it's one of those. We just go through this like over and over again. And we just go through this like over and over. And we just go through this like over and over again. And we just go through this like over and over again. And we just go through this like over and over again. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is good, your response. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is good, your response. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. I guess it's one of those.
All right, I gotta try one little tiny trick that I haven't done in a while, just to see if the drums need it. To be honest, it's break time. I need to walk away because I'm about to do some stupid. I'm about to do stupidness. I know when I'm about to do, like, mess up the whole mix, and I'm about to do something stupid. 1 second. Hat loop, perk loop, drum power. Here it is. I just want to see what this sounds like. I've been experimenting with this. I learned this from Jason. All right. I never realized if he did it parallel. I don't think he did it parallel. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna throw this hoe through. No, look how I'm talking. I'm gonna throw this through the saturate. This is like a big saturation kind of bus that I have. 1 second. I'll explain in a second. Let me just see if it sounds better.
We just go through this like over and over again. We just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is good, your spine. We just go through this like over and over again. We just go through this like over and over again. We just go through this like over and over again.
Wow, that did add a big difference. So long story short, I used this saturation bus. This is like this trick I got from Jason Joshua. And basically it's a bunch of NLS buses. And you can feel the drums feel like they get super empty without this here. So like, watch, that's crazy. That is crazy. Without first.
We just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is good, your spine. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know.
It's like this weight that it adds to it that I like. It's weird, but I like it. Let me make a decision on that though. 1 second, because the soft clipper, I have to make sure my soft clipper isn't going crazy. 1 second.
We just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. We just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. We just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean.
It's ironic. It actually rounded out my peaks a bit. It actually is going to give me a chance to make it louder. 1 second. Let me solo my drums right quick just to A-B it without. 1 sec. It adds a lot of body and weight. The one thing I'm hearing is something is doing to my kick. 1 second. I just don't like what it's doing to my kick. 1 second. I like the body it's adding, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it's kind of messing with my transient a bit. And I don't like messing with my transients, man. I like it, but it once again, it's bothering the transient of the kick a little bit too much. So what I'm gonna do is, I got a decision to make. 1 second. So I'm just paying attention to those transients, and I'm just trying to make sure I don't overload my mix bus or mess up my gain staging. Hold on 1 second. Because I really like what Spiff is doing. Spiff is really doing something nice that I like. So I'm just like, but I want to compensate. I don't want to raise my voltage on my meters. 1 second. Now I'm losing stuff. 1 second. Yeah, I'm losing that sparseness that I like in my drum. So I'm backing out. I'm backing out of this whole thing. It's cool. I need to practice that trick a little bit more. But I need to be honest with myself also. And that's why level matching things and saying, okay, I'm gonna put it at the same volume and see what it's hitting for. And yeah, I like that sparseness that I'm getting out of my drums, and I don't want to lose that. So I'm gonna keep that just how that is. Perhaps I'll add just a little bit of saturation to my drum bus in order to get what I think I'm looking for out of it.
Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is good, your response. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. I guess it's one of those. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you.
Cool, it's time to rest my ears and take a break. But I like where I'm at so far. I'm gonna rest my ears. I'm gonna take a break. But I'm liking where I'm at so far. and I'm definitely beating that reference. The low end, I think I need to work on a low end a little bit because I want that low end to still feel like the low end originally did. Only that now my kick is cutting. So I'll just gotta figure out a few things, but I definitely need to rest my ears because I feel like I'm gonna start making some really weird moves. But yeah, let's flash to another day. We'll come back. Okay, y'all, we are back, and yeah, I did a few things off camera coming back today, just listening to stuff and stuff like that. But I'll tell you what I did. It was just a few things to the bass that I heard, but nonetheless, let's just listen to our rough as far as the reference that the client sent. Shout out Courtney, and let's listen to where we are just to refresh our ears with this entire thing. So let me go back, turn this on. How you doing? Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to play where we are at. So let's play the original first, which is, and the original may be a little louder than ours, of course, because I don't have my limiter hitting it hard. So just to be careful, so let me just turn it down just a dB. So listen to the original.
Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things.
And then ours.
Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things.
Love the feeling of it. One thing I already can hear is that I want to push up the vocals. Really, I just want to push up the mid-range in its totality, just up a little bit, to push the mid-range a bit forward. I might want to touch the kick a little bit just to get the kick to snap a little bit more. And then the second thing is I hear was with the bass. And then after that, I'm ready to get some pointers and stuff from the client on what they want. I have a few other tricks that I'm going to do as far as pushing things into my outboard gear, which we'll do in a second. But for the most part, I'm cool. I'm going to touch some things on my mix bus, but that's it. So let me show you what I did to my bass while this was off, which I just didn't press record at the time. So what I'm going to show you is this, and it's just something simple, kind of simple. But it was better for me to do it off camera. So long story short, I wanted some more out of the bass sound. And I was feeling like I didn't have anything in my DAW. I felt like I would get a better sense of what I was looking for through my outboard gear. So I turned on my Pultex, which I'll show you right now. So I turned on my good old Pultex. Let's see if I can turn this thing around. Let's go to camera 3. Camera 3 to camera 3. And still turn this on so you can see me. So I went to my Pultex, which is right here. And on my Pultex, as you can see, I did a 2 boost at 60, and then I did a 3 boost at 5. And what I was looking to do was I was looking to get my bass sound more heard, and also I just wanted some more low end. Like I just wanted some more warmth out of the entire sound, and I wanted to run it through those tubes. So I wound up doing it, and it wound up giving me what I was looking for, just giving me a little bit more warmth and saturation with the 808, because I felt like listening to his versus mine, that was the one thing I wanted more of, was just a little bit more warmth and body. So that's what I did with that. So basically I did a print, and I printed that sound of my EQPAs here, and I also made sure that I level matched them, so I made sure I wasn't fooling myself. So just know I just got a little bit more low end on my on my Audioscape EQPAs through running it through that, and that was it. So I'm going to mute the original Johns, which is these two right here. I'm gonna make them inactive. I won't hide them, but I'll make them inactive just so I know it's there. And it's the same exact thing, still going through my original print bus and the whole 9. So let me put this here, 29-30. And okay, so everything is going back through my bass bus. I'm gonna make sure this is there too. And long story short, the last thing I did on my bass was I added the Spectre plugin just to give me a little bit more of just heard. I just felt like I just wanted to hear the bass a little bit more, so I used this to give it to me. I'll show you it right quick. So it's giving me a little bit more upper harmonics in the bass so that I can hear it cut through on like small little speakers like this. I felt like I wanted more of it, so I used the Spectre to do that. Still doing my side chain on the low end. And then the other sound as far as this 808 or bass sound right here is pretty much the same. Let me make sure. Let's listen to the thing. I ran this also through my EQPAs just to beef up the 808. I just felt like the low end, I just wanted to beef up the low end just a little bit more. So let me see if this is too much right now. One sec. So let me listen to the original because you can see, you can hear it's like, ooh, it's like raw, it's like raw now. So let me just make sure that we didn't, that we level match it. I just want to make sure I level match it because that's the print. So. You hear that difference though? Like where it's so much tighter and grittier and more aggressive and mean. When I ran it through my outboard stuff, I forced it into it and just kind of saturated those tubes, and you can see the difference with those two. I'm still trying to level match them just to make sure it's the same volume, but give me one sec. One sec. Let me make sure this is going to the bus too, because I want to hear it through the bus. Okay, cool. That's close. So now I'll make this inactive. Let's hear it within the music.
With a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know his style, fancy. In a house like Kyle, messy. I lay up here, massive. We be getting real messy.
Dope. I got a nice sound from it. It's heavy within the mix. Let me listen to the low end 1 second with my sub on.
With a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know his style, fancy. In a house like Kyle, messy. I lay up here, massive. We be getting real messy. You give me a feel nasty.
I wound up turning it down a little bit because I'm like, oh, I don't need that much volume from it now that I've kind of like gotten all of that saturation and kind of ran it through my outboard. So this is another example of printing the saturation through my outboard gear and saying through my EQPAs. I love my EQPAs to death. When I'm just looking for a little bit more or just some saturation, some analog saturation, I'm like, that I can't get in a plugin, I'm like, I'm just going to run over here today. Not saying you can't get in a plugin, but I like that. That's fun. It's fun to use. So I had that. And then the last thing I did to my bass was I used the Shadow Hill compressor, and the Shadow Hill compressor just tightening things up a little bit, making the low end a little bit more mono sounding, and kind of just adding a little bit more girth to it. So I really beefed up just that bass. I was just like, oh, I want to beef up the bass a little bit. I wanted my bass to beat his original one. That's basically why I did it. But it was quick. I did that within 10 minutes, and I was like, oh, let me press record. So just let you know what happened since we were off. But literally, I'm still in the mix. So cool. So let's keep it going.
With a whole damn crew, gangy. They don't know his style, fancy. In a house like Kyle, messy. I lay up here, massive. We be getting real messy. You give me a feel nasty. She be making noise and she dashy. I be dashing to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be apart, she Gucci's. She gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. We just go through this like over and over again. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those, one of those.
I want to add a little bit more transient information to the hi-hat. I know I took some away with soothe and stuff like that, and to get rid of that like high brittle part of the hi-hat that gets annoying. But I do want to add a little bit more transient in. 1 second. Okay. All right. Mix. 1 second.
You want be, won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. We just go through this like over and over again. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those, one of those, one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah, yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is good, your response. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. I guess it's one of those things. Guess that's why you roll to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a project, she Gucci. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be.
Cool. Like I said, I can already hear the mid-range. I want to push the mid-range up a little bit, which I'll do at the end. You'll see me do that towards the end. Okay, I'm feeling pretty cool. I'm getting to that point where I'm just like looking for things like, okay, how am I feeling? Things are feeling nice. I think the last thing I really was looking at was like a little bit touching the kick a little bit. Let me listen to the original.
To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a project, she Gucci. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be. To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a project, she Gucci. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be. What she won't be, won it last week. To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a project, she Gucci. To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci.
All right, we're very, very close. I like ours over the reference. I feel like ours just feels a lot more together, a lot tighter, but it doesn't feel like this sparse, crazy, different thing from the original. I feel like I got all the elements of the original that I like with the added bonus of cleaning things up, making things feel a little bit tighter and stuff like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this kick one last time and see if I can pull a little bit more out of this kick. Just one last time. I'm going to just revisit my kick, see if I can pull a little out of this kick. One sec. Just a little more snap. I'm looking for a little bit more snap on this kick. Let me also go back over to my convolver, as you know, just so I can hear it a little bit more flat. I know some people may argue with me about that, but I genuinely like how my stuff translates with it on. If you saw earlier, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm putting the convolver back on so I can just have that reference with my speakers, just changing my curve. All right, so let's take a look. So
to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a project, she Gucci. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be. What she won't be, won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. We just go through this. To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a project, she
I'm just looking for a little bit more out of that kick. I'm just deciding what I want to do, if I want to sacrifice something or what I'm going to do. One sec. Oh, I know what I'm going to do.
to the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a project, she Gucci. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be. What she won't be, won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. We just go through this like over and over again. To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a project, she Gucci. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be. What she won't be, won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a project, she Gucci. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be. What she won't be, won it last week. To the dash beat. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. placing, really been looking happy.
I just added some harmonics to my kick, like saturation at the 160 hertz range to see if I can get a little bit more crackle on that kick, and I did. I got a little bit more pop out of the kick. I only added about a dB and a half. I know that may be a lot to some people, but that's what I was looking for. I was looking just for a little bit more of the heard part of the kick. Not really the feeling, but the heard side. Something that felt a little bit more punchy. So 1 sec. So I just added saturation with the Spectre. 1 sec.
To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney, right? But she gon' be, but she won't be. Won it last week. Happy placing, really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. We just go through this like over and over again. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney, right? But she gon' be. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney, right? But she gon' be, but she won't be. Won it last week. Happy placing, really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. We just go through this like over and over. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney, right? But she gon' be, but she won't be. Won it last week. Happy placing, really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney, right? But she gon' be. To the dash beat, to the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy.
Good without it. That was the little bit that I was looking for in that kick. Just that little part up there. There's just a little bit of saturation up there. Do I want to put more? I think I'm fine. Let me listen to the original right quick.
To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney, right? But she gon' be. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney, right? But she gon' be. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney, right? But she gon' be, but she won't be. Won it last week. Happy placing, really been looking happy.
I'm cool with that. I'm not mad at that. Let me just see one last thing. I'm just like, it's just something about, it's just something I'm looking for. And I when I hear it, I'll know. I think I know what it is, but I'm just trying to find where it's at. 1 second. Just a little thing in this kick that I want.
To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney, right? But she gon' be, but she won't be. Won it last week. Happy placing, really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney, right? But she gon' be. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney, right? But she gon' be, but she won't be. Won it last week. Happy placing, really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. We just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney, right? But she gon' be. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches.
I'm very happy with that now. I'm super happy with that kick. Low end, I'll have to take a look at things and see. 1 second. Let me just take a look at my meters now since we're coming to a close. 1 second.
To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney, right? But she gon' be, but she won't be. Won it last week. Happy placing, really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you.
Sorry about that. My music was on at the same time, but it looks like it's taking care of that. Still taking care of my peaks pretty well. I'm pretty cool on that so far. So everything feels fine. I am very happy with how things are sounding and turning out. Now, what my brain wants to do is to kind of wrap things up on this mix for right now is I am going to go to, I have to make a decision right now. Before I do that, now here's where everything starts to fall into play and I have to start making decisions. 1 second, y'all. So what I'm gonna do is I want to hit my outboard gear just a little harder. So I know you see these, these outputs right here. Don't be afraid of these outputs. Like, oh no, you're over 0. Don't think about it like that. All this is the outputs to my interface. These are the outputs of my interface going into my summing amp. So depending on how much I turn this up is how hard I'm going to hit all my outboard gear. And I tend to like to hit my outboard gear a certain way. So I'm just going to get a little bit more. I think I'm just going to throw out just these stems about a dB more. And then I'm going to go back to my gain staging, kind of back off on Gold Clip a little bit since I know it's going to be a little louder, and just can reconfigure everything for the most part. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off my limiter as well. And I'm also going to take off my convolver. I'm going to take that off as far as the room correction, because now I'm in the place of just kind of just getting an overall sound. So now let's boost this up just about a dB just to hit my outboard gear just a little harder. One sec.
To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Step on over to the Disney, right, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week, happy place, ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go do this like over and over again. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is you good, your response is one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know.
So sorry, my music goes on with it at the same time, but now I'm getting a little bit of a compression on certain moments. So now I know I'm hitting my outboard gear the way I want. Ironically, I don't tend to move this, and this is why and how I've learned, what level I like to hit this compressor, the way I like it to hit just the outboard gear and everything. Once I see that little green, a little bit of compression happen, I'm like, cool, that's enough for me. I just wanted to kiss it, and that's it. But it lets me know outboard gear wise, I'm saturating it and hitting it a certain way to give me a certain sound. So I'm cool on my outboard. I don't think I want to add any harmonics or anything to it. Let's take a look. So I'll show you guys right now. So let me show you guys something right quick. So let's move this over. This is a real mix session. So it's like, I know you see me do a bunch of stuff and like, yo, hold on, wait a minute, blah, blah, blah. But for real, like, this is what's really going on. Like, this is really what I'm doing. Okay, one sec. Okay, so I might want to add some harmonics to this. So, all right, so let me go to my thing. Okay, so I think I want to add some harmonics to my vocals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this button. This will just go and put some harmonic saturation on my vocal stem. So that's all this is doing. So when I hit this 13, 14, this is my vocals, my lead vocal. So if I hit this and then turn this up, it's adding harmonic saturation just to my vocal stem. So let me just see if I like it. Let me see how it sounds. I'm just going to test it out right quick. One sec. I guess I'll let you see me in the corner if you want. Okay, cool. So to my harmonic stem, which is this one.
To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Step on over to the Disney, right, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week, happy place, ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow, I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't.
Okay, 1 second. Let me hear this soloed. 1 second. I gotta hear that because I'm not really hearing too much of a difference, and that could be for a lot of reasons. That could be because I'm playing it low and stuff like that, but let me take a look-see. 1 second, y'all. So take this and let's say, where is it? Vocal outs. Let's see, vocal outs. Here it goes.
To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Step whenever to the Disney, right, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week, happy place, ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a punch, she coaches. Step whenever to the Disney, right, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week, happy place, ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. To the dash B, anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a project, she Gucci. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week, happy place and really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like
I am enjoying the sound of it. It does feel like it kind of smooths things out just a little bit in the top end. I think I'm gonna leave that in. Just a little bit of it, not a lot, just a little bit. Just on that stem. So let me go back to it now. Okay. Back to the mix. Look at that. Courtney's calling me right now. Let's pick up. Courtney, say hi. I'm mixing your record live.
Yo, what's up, Guan? Hold on. The Wi-Fi is looking crazy.
Hurry up, because I'm working.
Hold on.
Hurry up.
Hold on. That's crazy. Hold on.
Hurry up. Look at this. Ridiculous. Wasted our time. My fault, y'all. Oh, here we go. Hold on. The client's calling. Y'all. All right, what? Hurry up.
Yes. Hello. How y'all doing? My fault. I was looking crazy on that Wi-Fi. We gonna edit that out. He gonna slide that one part to me to edit out.
No, he not. Go ahead.
Turn the camera back to you real quick. This is a personal conversation that you can catch in 4K. But turn the camera back to you. No, come on.
Wait, what's happening? What you telling me?
Cause guess what? I figured out that you took way too long to send me.
I'm recording right now. I'm mixing your record. I'm recording live. This is going in the video. Hit me. I'll hit you back.
That's great. Nah, but I figured out. I'm gonna just say this. I figured out the Jesse Ray trick.
Oh,
Ableton.
I'm gonna hit you after. Get off my phone. See, we really do this, y'all. Like, we really don't just do this shit.
Nah, don't think that is sweet. This is the real audio nerd. You know what? Let him get back to the.
All right, let me get back to the exactly. Bye. We really do this. We really call each other and be like, I'm gonna up it on you. Like, we really do this. So yeah. Anyway, let's get it. Back to work. This is really fun for us, for real. Here we go.
to the dash B. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a project, she Gucci. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place and really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is good, your response. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those.
Love that. Okay, now, remember I said I kind of wanted to push up the mids in my vocals just a little bit on his. Excuse me, I just want to push up the mid-range a little bit. Well, some people use something like, for instance, like the guard particle or something like that to do the mids. Like, for instance, let me show you what I mean. So, like, you know, on the guard particle, you can come here and you could just up the mid-range, right? If you feel like you're just missing a little bit of mid-range. What I like to do is, I love the crossovers in a specific plugin. It's called Dyne 1, which is this one right here. I love this plugin so much. And I have a preset called, where is it? It's like Mix Bus Mid Pop. So basically this allows me, and this is the band I've created. It's like from 500 hertz to 3000 hertz, where I can just push that and just push up the mid range just a little bit. So I have it at 3, but I'm putting it at 0, and I'm gonna push up to the mid range just a little bit until I feel good, until I feel really good about it. So one sec.
To the dash B. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be a project, she Gucci. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she want be. Won it last week. Happy place and really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but
Just to feel so much better. Just push the mid-range just up a little bit of the entire mix and just gave me that thing. So I really use the Dyne 1. I don't even use it to compress anymore like I used to, but I just like the sound of its processing. I don't know why, but I've tried this with other plugins, EQ and stuff, but for some reason using this multi-band compressor and just pushing bands, like, you know, as far as my balance and stuff, brightness and stuff, just this thing just does a job. So push the mid-range up a wee bit. And I like where I'm at. Let me check my gold clip just to make sure I'm not killing this thing or just didn't just destroy my, peaks and stuff. One sec.
to the dash B. Anytime she be needing a Gucci. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah. Said it's one of those things. Test you is good, your response is one of those things.
I feel good. I still feel great about it. So thank you, Donnie One, for that. Last thing we're gonna do in our mix bus is we're gonna add a little bit of harmonic saturation. I have a preset that I love to death. This preset in particular helps me to gain more perceived volume without really increasing the voltage on my mix bus. So basically, if it was peaking at -6 before, it should be peaking at -6 after I add this saturator, but I should feel like it sounds like 2 dB higher. Shout out Jason Joshua, I got this from him. But I took his preset that I seen him use and tweaked it to something that I liked as well. So this is nasty. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna increase the perceived volume of the entire record. It's gonna make it a little bit more exciting. And this is just like me just adding that little bit of sauce on the end of my thing. One sec.
To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be.
Second, it's a little too much. One sec.
To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. Stop. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over.
1 second.
To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing.
No, I'm not liking what I'm getting out of it today. That's a first, actually. Interesting. Okay, cool. Let me try something else. 1 second.
To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be apart, she call cheese. Stop whenever say the Disney rabbit, she gon' be what she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't.
Yeah, so I'm liking what that's doing. I'm gonna back off on my saturation just a little bit because I feel like I just don't want it to get too bright and brittle sounding. Because there's something that I still like about the before, and I just want to just make sure I'm just not compromising what I created. 1 second. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit, my saturation down a bit.
To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coach. Anytime we be apart, she cold cheese. Stop on the facility, Disney, right where she gon' be. What she won't be. Won it last week. Happy place, ain't really been looking happy. Laugh about it, but it don't look like you laughing. And we just go through this like over and over again. Overflow. I'm just trying to dive straight in the ocean. I wanna stay close, but you don't. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Yeah.
Let's go to a different part. Let's go to that part with all the background so I can hear a full spectrum of the entire mix. 1 second.
I guess it's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. I guess it's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know.
And I know the freaky thing about this is when you look at my gold clip, you're saying, how the heck did we get some of our peaks back? We actually gained some headroom back, but it has more of a perception of loudness. And that's why I like this plugin so much, because it's so forgiving, and it also helps me save so much headroom by giving me harmonic saturation to give me the loudness, as opposed to trying to just turn things up. So just to show you an example, let me check for myself. I'm gonna turn Black Box on and off and see what the it sounds louder with Black Box on, obviously. So I want to see what my peaks are before and after Black Box. 1 second. So without Black Box, the peaks were.
It's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we.
It's pretty hot. It's like 0.6 above what you call it, which is fine. If I don't hear distortion, I'm not worried about it. Just know that I'm not worried about it. Now with Black Box.
It's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not.
I gained about 2 dB back. Ha 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 ha. So I gained about 2 dB back, which means I could probably soft clip this even more and get it even louder towards the end. So I'm gonna decide if I want to soft clip this just a little more, but I'm gonna listen to my kick and see if it alters the sound of my kick too much, because this is gonna help me achieve a louder mix easier. But I want to be careful with my dynamics, and then I'll be done. So let me listen to Gold Clip again with it, and let me just manipulate Gold Clip a bit.
It's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. But baby girl, you're more. It's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know.
Okay, now what I'm gonna do right quick is I'm gonna listen to this thing with a limiter on. And I'm not going to use a great limiter. I'm going to use this little cheapo little in limiter here. Not saying cheapo, but you know this limiter. Everybody knows this limiter. And I'm just going to see what happens to my mix. I just want to hear my mix with a decent amount of limiting on it, and just see what happens. See what falls from the tree. 1 sec.
It's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those, but baby girl, you're more. Oh, it's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good.
So I want to turn down my snare just a little bit. I feel like that limiter is grabbing that snare just a little bit too much. So let me just find something for my snare. 1 second.
It's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those. It's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those, but baby girl, you're more. It's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one Guess it's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those, but baby good.
Okay, there's one thing I'm hearing that I'm already saying that might be a problem later, so let me just catch it. There's a little bit of, perhaps there's a frequency that's going to annoy me. I can feel it, and it's going to happen later down in mastering. So let me just find this frequency right quick. 1 second, y'all. Final touches. Yeah, get out of here. I heard it. I was like, that something sounds annoying.
They know it's one of those, but baby girl, you're mine. Guess it's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those, but baby girl, guess it's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those, but baby, guess it's one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things. We just say we good when we not. It's one of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those, but baby girl, you're mine. Oh, it's about the birds, baby, it's overflowing. I'm just trying to dive straight in your ocean. Trying to stay close, but you don't. Guess one of those, one of those, one of those. It's one of those things. Test you is your gut, you a spot. Oh, yeah, I know, you know that this is one of those things. We should hold it down, fuck it around. It's one of those things. We gon' say it's good till it's not. One of those things. I know, you know, we know, they know. It's one of those. This is one of those things.
Man, I really like how this is sounding so far. Let me just see where we were before. So before, final listen to this right quick. Before.
Bessie, with a whole damn crew, gangy. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a part she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney rabbit, she gon' be. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a part she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney rabbit, she gon' be. But she won't be. Won it last week, happy place ain't really been looking happy. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a part she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney rabbit, she gon' be. But she won't be. Won it last week, happy place. To the dash beat, anytime she be needing a coachy. Anytime we be a part she coaches. Stop on over to the Disney rabbit, she gon' be. But she won't be.
That is a huge difference, just in clarity and just everything. I might wind up throwing a little soothe on the end of it, just to clean up some resonance, just some harshness. But other than that, we beat that reference. And that was my whole goal, is just to beat the reference. It's like I'm trying to beat the reference in clarity, fidelity, feeling, with separation, everything. And I feel like we just annihilated that reference. So now it would be a moment where I would just hand it over to Courtney. I'll put a little limiter on the end. I'm gonna put a better limiter on the end. Send it to him, get his notes, see what he wants. Does he want more music? Does he want less vocal? And kind of get an idea of what he's looking for. And then we'll go on to mastering when he approves everything. So I'll make the mastering a whole separate video. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I did. I love the record so much. When I heard it on Courtney's story, I was like, bro, let me mix this, please. So I'm really glad that we got a mix on this now. And yeah, right now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get a print popping, and then I'm going to send this over to the client and see what they say. I appreciate you guys a lot. If there is a mastering version to this, I'll make sure I put it in the description for you so you can see it. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was my mixing process for the most part. I made a lot of mistakes, but we came out on top. And I'm not afraid of that. I know certain things you saw me do may be unorthodox, or you feel like that's not the way to do it. But my end product, I'm very happy with my end product so far. Let's see if the client is. Appreciate y'all. Until next time, y'all.